kids playing football, man. Okay, so we got a guest in the house.
Yes, we do.
It's not you. It's Nicole.
Yeah, calm down.
Okay, you know what I mean? Jeez, this guy thinks it's the dog bollocks, mate.
Dog's bollocks,
it's
mate.
the dog's
Yeah, the
bollocks.
fucking dog's bollocks.
So, Nicole, for the people
Hello.
who don't know you,
Yeah.
we alluded to it previously that you are a creator.
Yeah.
And we know you for basically your hilarious
Pussy
commentary.
fat.
Right, okay. Okay.
Are we going to ask about that first or not?
I had a hypothesis about this, right?
Okay, I don't know what
Okay.
that means, but cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, stick with me, and then you're gonna drop the punchline. You're gonna know when to drop it, right?
Okay.
So I had a hypothesis that one time Nicole and the girls was like, we need to go somewhere for a little girls trip, you know, chill out, let our hair down,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Left the boys, yada yada yada. So one of the girls in Nicole's group was like, let's go Greece. They're like, let's go Portugal. Let's go Ibiza. And then someone said, let's go Jamaica. And they was like, ooh, Jamaica.
Jamaica,
exotic,
Jamaica.
Rum, sun, good music,
Oh, I love
sea,
that place.
beach, vibes, good
Yeah.
food. All right, cool. That's the sound of them in the air flying to Jamaica.
Right.
So now they're chilling out there. I think they might have got an all-inclusive hotel just for peace of mind. Breakfast, lunch, dinner served. You don't have to worry about that.
Makes sense.
And then some local kid walked by, probably called Delroy, was like, fine girl. And they was like, oh, what's happening? It was like, you're visiting Jamaica? And they was like, yes. And it's like, oh, you need to come down the road tonight. We're going to have a little shubs down there, all right? So they was like, all
Your
right,
Jamaican
cool.
accent is awful, by
I
the
know.
way.
But because I'm West Indian, I can get away with it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. So then they dress up and they go to Lord of Mercy. They dress up and they go to the shubs, right?
Right.
So they meet. Let me throw my boy under the bus and use his name. So they meet a local Jamaican called Cadian.
Yeah. Shout out to Katie.
So Cadian's by the bar. He's preying the girls. He sees these tall, nice, slim tone looking women walk through and he's like, Bomber Clock Star. With a Maggie in his hand. No, Red Stripe.
Red Stripe.
We're
Definitely
local, Red Stripe.
Yeah.
So then he's plotting like a lion does when it sees its prey. He's like, yo, rude boy, may I get that one, you know? So then he goes up to Nicole now and then he taps her on the shoulder and she turns around, being the personable person that she's come across as.
Yeah.
She turns around, she goes, hi, how you doing? And he goes, baby, let me tell you something. Me wake up this morning, me had two things on my mind. Rum and gal. Baby, me see you from across the room. And me say to myself, Bombo Clot, that girl is a...
Pussy fat.
That's how I think the word came across. Came to fruition. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I just think that's how it went down. All right.
In your imagination.
In my imagination.
Oh my gosh, I wish. Like, I wish that happened. Like, I was so into that. I was picturing myself at the bar.
You know?
I wish it happened like
your
that.
pum shorts on.
Little
You got a
pum-pum shorts.
little rum punch in your hand. And then Kaden comes over and said, baby. Me see you from across the room. And me telling you, no.
Your pussy fat.
Like cocoa bread and patty. In a bowl of porridge. Cold milk. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
That's right.
Right, so Nicole, for the people who don't know, but they are gonna know now, and they're obviously gonna follow you because we're definitely supporters of you. What's your background? Like where you from and like what sparked this great idea you had?
Okay, so I'm actually from Berkshire.
Yeah, I can tell by the accent. You're super posh.
Oh, posho.
Yeah. Love it though.
Don't get it twisted. Still grew up in council estate vibes.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Man like
Council
Sully.
estate vibes. So I grew up in a really, really small village called Sunningdale. Really nice area, actually, but still on a council estate. Mum was on benefits. She was raising me and my 3 older brothers and a younger sister. So it was like proper struggle town. Yeah. And growing up, I had always been this type of person to be like I want to just say center of attention because it's exactly what it is, right?
Yeah.
But not in like a conceited or narcissistic way. Just like I love to perform. Like I love to perform. I love to make people laugh. I love to bring people joy. So
Technically, you're a middle child. You've got that middle child vibe.
Oh, am I? Yeah.
Yeah,
because
so you got one sibling younger.
What? Yeah, and technically I am because I
oldest.
have twin brothers. So
Right.
technically, yeah, I am like a middle
So
child.
you was like in the Jackson 5, you'd be Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my God, I would.
Yeah, you would be the performer.
Performance and
Is that a thing?
Because without interjecting too much,
Yeah.
because I want you to tell your story. If you're in that scenario, you've got an older sibling and a younger sibling to live up. You got to kind of live up to.
Yeah, so to my elders, and then my sister needs to live up to me, like not role play,
And then you,
role model.
Yeah.
role model. So you're kind of in the middle, slight,
Oh,
adjacent.
that's really interesting.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
So you're the Michael Jackson of the 5.
So I'm the Michael Jackson of the family.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. So thank you.
Welcome.
Feel good now.
We're here a week.
That was really nice. Did you say we're here a week?
We're here a week.
What did you say?
No, I'm saying we're here a week. We're good with it.
Oh, right.
Off the cuff,
I thought you meant like, hurry up, bitch. We
No,
ain't
no,
got
no,
a week.
no.
So then I grew up, so constantly just like being a performer, loved being in like drama and plays and all of this.
Right,
Was always
okay.
like the loud one in the classroom. Went to school, had an all right time, did college, but never went to university.
In the same place.
In the same place, yeah. So I've always stayed there. Even
been
now, like my mum still lives in that same house that I was
Right.
not born in, but that I was raised in.
Yeah.
So then didn't go to university, but it was like all of my friends were going to university. All my friends had money. All my friends, I would go on holiday with my friends' family because they could afford to take me, whereas my
Right.
family couldn't.
Right.
So it was like
Okay.
that. But ever since I was 16, like I got a job, I was a checkout girl at Waitrose, and I had no idea where my life was going to take me. I was like, all my friends are going to uni. I feel pressured to go to uni, but I have no money. I don't want to be in debt. I don't even know what I want to do at uni. And like the teachers in my school weren't very supportive with like, they always favoritize students in drama. Like if you were like, I was just too loud and too comedic, basically.
Right.
So every time I would do something that was funny, it was always shut down.
Okay.
And so then I then obviously created this, not insecurity, but I guess I shut that part of myself away because I was like, I'm not good enough. I should just go get a normal job, right? So anyway, worked at Waitrose. When I left school and everyone was going to university, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but what I do know is that I need a hustle and I need to make sure that I respectfully don't end up like my mum, because my mum raised me and my brothers. She was struggling. She struggled to eat to feed us,
Right.
I don't want to live that lifestyle. So I then ended up I then had 2 jobs and then it ended up into 3 jobs. Like I would have like a date, like in the daytime, then I'd go off to the clothing store and work there. And then at nighttime, I would like take my snakes, I have snakes. I would take my snakes around to nightclubs and people would take photos with them. Like it was a thing.
So you're a bit of an exhibitionist, so to speak.
Isn't that like a nudist?
Yeah, that is.
Is that
Well,
the same word?
I guess I kind of am now because I got OF,
Exhibition.
but
I thought exhibitionist was somebody just likes to perform and.
I think
Do you mean an extrovert?
Yeah.
Is that what that
That's
is?
what you mean, an extrovert.
Ain't that the same thing?
I knew
No,
that wasn't the word.
exhibitionist is when you love being nude.
Yeah. He does, by the way.
I mean, I think being nude is also really nice, but I think you mean extrovert.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So very, very extroverted. So then after that, I went into real estate, and I was like, I guess this is
Real estate.
yeah. So super random, right? So I ended up working for a real estate firm, was in a call center, and I was like, fuck this. Like I am like crazy. Like,
Suffocating.
I need to get out there. So I was like, let me get out and about into like different viewings and stuff. And then one of my friends went to Dubai for work experience. Came back and was like, Nicole, you need to move there. Like the real estate, you could do real estate over there. Then you could become a personal trainer because I wanted to become a fitness instructor. So from that moment in September in 2014, from the moment that I had that chat at Nando's,
Yeah.
Of course.
I went, of course, cheeky Nando's, went home to my mum and I was like, I think I want to move to Dubai. And in my head, I was like, it'll be a 5-year plan from now because obviously I need to have funds to go to Dubai. Jumped on LinkedIn, connected with a few people. And then after that, after about 3 weeks, someone from a real estate firm in Dubai was like, do you want to move over? And I was like,
Oh wow.
fuck, like, yes, like, absolutely. Went through the interview process and I got accepted. And I was just like, how is this happening? Like, how have I gone from, like, however I started to the now potentially moving over to Dubai? And long story short, they needed, like, because it's commission only, they needed me to have a certain amount of money. So I took a risk and I got a bank loan.
Right.
Yeah, and they were like, don't get a bank loan. But I was like, I can't ask my family for money. No one has money in my family. It's not a thing. So then I got a bank loan and I actually moved over 2 months after I
So
had
your
the
credit
idea.
was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, still is. So
Bang, bang.
decent credit. So anyway, so from September, I actually moved out on November 11th. And I had no idea where Dubai is on a map. I had no friends. I didn't know anything.
Wow.
I was just like, I'm going to go out here. I stayed with the person who worked at HR.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm just going to take this risk because worst case scenario, I go back home and I just live with my mum again.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's my worst case
No
scenario.
one
Best
wants
case
that.
scenario is obviously what's happened now.
Yeah.
So did real estate for about 6 months, but it was just too dog eat dog. It's very cowboy out there, very like it's commission based, and people will just mug you off, and it's like it just is anywhere in the world for real estate. Then I became a personal trainer, so I did my courses and did PT for 6 years, and then COVID hit.
What made you go into personal training?
I just loved fitness. Like I loved going to the gym. I would have personal trainers myself, and then constantly ask questions and be like, "Why this? Why that?" And he was like, "Why the fuck don't you take an exam and do it yourself?" You know, not in that way, but like. So and then obviously the helper in me was like, I want to help people get their goal body, and then that makes me feel good because I've helped someone, you know. So
wicked.
So then anyway, so I did that for 6 years, and then 2020 came. Obviously went in lockdown, and my social media started growing. I was in a relationship at the time with someone who had a bigger following.
Right.
However, it was actually on an old account that got taken down.
Okay.
Yeah, so this new account that you have was actually just completely grown by myself. So, but I'm going to be honest, like I was in like a weird headspace around that time. Like I felt that I had changed a lot as a person, and I kind of lost who I was as a person in that situation.
Happens. That can happen.
Yeah, and not because of social media, but just like also, I guess, trying to find my groove with social media. I was being someone who someone else wanted me to be, and you know, it just happens.
Yep.
But once I got out of that situation, I then was like, okay, so my Instagram's been taken down. What do I do from now? Like, I'll just start a new one, and then I thought maybe I'll go to LA and like go and collab with people. Do you have something to say?
Nah, I sense a bit of foul play there.
Talk to me.
With the IG being taken down. So
Okay.
It's the breakup and all that. Am I?
No.
Okay.
No.
all right.
It was my account got taken down for so many different reasons.
Okay,
No,
cool.
it wasn't anything to do with my breakup. No. So basically, I started a new account, and I was like, okay, so who is Nicole Drinkwater? Like, who have I always wanted to be? Like, I've grown up doing this, and I've been told that I should do it this way. And then I've been in situations where people want me to be like this. So I think that I'm only good enough if I do this. But then I just really stripped back and was like, I need to be myself.
Right.
Like, I need to just go on social media and be who I am.
Yeah.
And that's someone who's sarcastic, who loves, you know, I love dark humor. I love taking the piss. I love, you know, just you know, like not taking shit seriously. You know, there's so many sensitive people in the world. And I'm just like,
Tell me
I
about
just
it.
want to put a bit of light on that
Yes.
for the people who are like I want to say like the 90s babies, really, for us not to be like, oh, thank God there's actually someone out there who's a fucking normal human being and doesn't get upset because I said he or she. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and so
We get it.
Yeah, so then it got to the point when my social media was slowly growing. I started collabing with people in LA, and I was like, this ain't it. Like, LA's not it. Like, it's people are fake. People just.
I hear that
The
about
friendships
them.
over there are so loose.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm someone. If I meet you and I will make you my actual friend, like I want a connection with you.
Yeah.
But over there, it's like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like, let's hang out like every single day.
And it's not really
then
like that.
and then as soon as someone else better comes along,
And
oh
you
my God, I'm
cool
so sorry.
down.
I can't come out.
Yeah.
Like,
What
I'm
have you done
busy.
for me
I'm
lately?
busy. Like,
Yeah.
fuck off then. You know, like.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that. And
How long
because
was you in LA for?
I was there for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really gave it a good stint. I went there in 2021 to figure it all out, and then 2022 I moved all of my stuff out and of Dubai, and then I was like, okay, let me try it in 2022, and I just ended up like every time I go back, I don't like it. However, I've made some really good friends there who are like my really really close friends, who are good. And then basically, because I've obviously been in the fitness community, and also I watch Instagram a lot, right? So I watch all these people on Instagram, and now obviously with the parody videos that I do, and I'm like, there are so many people on Instagram who are trying to pretend to be one way, but actually they just want to show themselves off. And I think we don't care.
Okay.
No one cares.
So based on that,
Yeah.
what you're about to say,
Yeah.
was there a light bulb? Was there a light bulb moment in that instant? Was you sitting there thinking, do you know what?
Nice. I like it.
Do you know what? I feel like this needs to be spoken about or this needs to be exploited. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Exploited, because we've had conversations on the podcast about said things. So I tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
When we saw, I think one of your first videos that really hit, right?
Yeah.
We were like this.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I was a little bit taken back by the aggressiveness of that particular one. Where, yeah, when you play, I was like, "Whoa, what's going on here, bro?"
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, I was all in. I was all in because I'm that type of person who feels like everything is sensitive, everything's
Everything's
PC,
censored these days,
everything is just like, oh my God, for fuck's sake, like let's just. Everybody just be lighthearted and cool, man. Everybody just chill out. It's not that deep.
It's almost like people have an apology ready before they send out the tweet or whatever it is they're going to put out. Because they know, oh my gosh, it's
and that,
like,
and that particular episode, Nick, was, we were talking about, I think it was a lady who went to the gym at the time and a guy was walking past. I'm just trying to recollect.
Wasn't he trying to help her?
He was trying to help her. With her form.
And she had the gym leggings on that was right up the back street. And she was like trying to like go like, oh, look at this weirdo trying to, and he was like, oh, nah. And then I think he was also asking like how many sets he got left because he wanted to use this machine as well. Yeah. And she tried to spin it around on him like he was being a creep trying to speak to her. And it was like, the guy just...
Yeah, especially when it comes to the gym and like you see someone with bad form.
Yeah.
Like there are some circumstances when, like, you know, if a man gropes a woman who's wearing a short skirt in the street, okay, you know what? That's actually pretty fucked up and that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But like in a gym, like, how can I put it? Like,
I think there's a certain decorum about it. You have a certain etiquette.
There's always, I've been to the gym often and little. And at points, it's always been a camaraderie. So it's always been a random Donny goes, "Do you want to get spotted because I can see you?" Or a random person going, "Oh, have you ever tried that?" That's how I've come from. So it's like, and when I go to the gym, there's women.
Mm-hmm. But also at the same time, like they, you know, the way that they dress, and I obviously speak on that a lot. In there, like. You look good, right? You look great. Your body is absolutely phenomenal. So it's like, and then they play on like, oh, well, you know, I was like, the way that you dress shouldn't make you have the audacity to come up to me. And it's like, but they're not coming up to you because of the way that you're dressed. They're coming up to you because you need help with your form, you know? And then why do you think that it's the way that you're dressed? Is that because you think that you're dressed inappropriately?
Message.
Like, but, you know, like, again, I don't care and I don't judge. Like, I don't judge anyone. Just be yourself. Yeah. If you want to go on Instagram and say, hi, guys, listen, I want to show off my ass today, so I'm going to do it.
Say it.
Here's what I had for breakfast. And show your ass, you know, like, it's... No, everyone would appreciate that more because they'll just be like, oh, fuck, she's actually being honest. And you know what? She does look really good, you know? So, but it's obviously just ones that I play on, obviously, is just when it's so obvious. And a biggest thing is when I would speak to girls and I'd be like, would you ever do an OnlyFans? And they're like, oh my God, I would never do an OnlyFans. And I'm like, but you post what most people post on OF. Like, you could literally...
make money off it.
Make so much money. No, but I don't want to have an OnlyFans because I don't want to be an OnlyFans girl. What's wrong with being an OnlyFans girl? Like... As long as you know,
go on. So no, go ahead.
It doesn't you're either gonna be an OnlyFans girl or the girl that gets her ass out all on Instagram. For free. So you may as well go and monetize it, invest your money in shit, and then one day you can just boycott OnlyFans, and then you've got your investments that you live off of.
I think the problem with OnlyFans is, and I don't think it's OnlyFans the platform that created this problem. I think it's some of the content creators that
because
created this problem.
There is obviously porn on there.
It's the stigma.
When lockdown hit, someone go, I knew about OnlyFans prior. All right, cool.
You told me about OnlyFans.
Right, but I think I kind of found out about it during lockdown.
I was like,
the Twitter floodgates opened up.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was back shot after back shot after back shot. I was like, what is this?
Tiger was on there doing his thing and...
Oh, yes. I was thinking Tiger Woods.
Tiger Wood was. Tiger's Wood was.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods was on there.
His content will be called
He was great.
Yeah.
In the woods with Tiger.
Yeah.
And it was just on there, and it's like, right, so, but the concept behind OnlyFans was, if you're a Beyonce and you're a Beyonce fan, Beyonce would say, for £5 a month, you can subscribe to my channel and you're going to get exclusive content like me recording a new song, me at a red carpet, like the Beehive shit. Like she could, like that was Beehive shit, basically. Yeah. And then someone, God bless her cotton socks, decided, you know what? Yeah, what if I throw it back?
Yeah.
And then it just spiraled out of control.
And then everyone started doing it.
Right. But then the thing is now, there's with everything, there is something for everyone. There's some women who make a killing showing off their feet. Have you signed up to any of them?
No.
That's your
lane. I have a foot fetish.
Oh, you have a foot fetish?
Yeah,
So
I love feet.
Oh my God, have you seen this?
Oh my God, don't get him started.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Right. What?
Please, Lord.
Please.
These are testing times.
Nick, there's a puppy in the house, please. So, like, you know, like, bro, are you okay, bro? Do you some water? Just some water?
Look, just give me a minute. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm all right. I'm going to be okay.
Hold that, man. Take some of that.
Yeah. Take over.
But there's like, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. But like, so people are making money or they're monetizing in different ways.
Yeah.
The problem is, like with hip hop, the bullshit and the very loud stuff rises to the top,
of course,
in place of everything else. There's women on there who are doing bikini photos only, but it's like, well, they can't put it up on Instagram because Instagram's got some weird kind of policy about what you can and cannot put up. So that can't go up there. But they put it up on OnlyFans, and some people are willing to pay for it.
And also, but then at the same time, they get that stigma of like,
this is it. You're all playing the same playground, so you all must be doing the same thing.
100%.
Like, no.
That's what people think. That's what people think with me, and I'm like, it's not like that. Right. But if you want to think that, please keep thinking. I don't care.
But my question based off of that is, because I've got a friend who has an OnlyFans account. Yeah. But she does the up your exes stuff. Yes.
What's that?
Got the soft stuff.
Okay, she goes in.
Oh, X-rated.
Okay, Malcolm X.
Times 3. Joe, can we let that one slide? Is that all right, I'll timestamp it. Fine. Right, so in your case, I'm gonna try and keep the boat sailing because otherwise this guy gets cancelled. But in your case, with the popularity of your parody videos, has that had a good effect? Like, has it had a knock-on effect, like a domino effect on that platform? So people going, oh, I really like her content on there. Oh, she's on there. Cool. As a fan from here, I'm going on to a fan over there.
It's been really, really great. Yeah. And like, as well with OF, like a lot of people do come over. Obviously, a lot of people come over and they're like, show me your piss film, obviously, right? Yeah. But I also do get a lot of people on there who are just like, I just want to reach out and say hi because I can't reach you in your DMs. So like, you know what? Like, I also want to see this other side of you, but like, I also just want to have a conversation. And I think that sometimes it's actually quite nice because people just know that like, I'm not going to be, you know, as long when I set those boundaries on there and I'm like, I don't do this, but like, if you ever want to ask me a question, I'm on every day at one point in the day just to reply to everyone. I will reply to you. You know, so I also, you know, give them that back. So, but no, since obviously this series has been going, it's always been very, very stable. Right. And that's honestly been like my bread and butter. I invest in property now as well. So like I that's actually what I've done with the money is I put it in stocks and investments and I have a financial advisor that does that for me. Amazing. And then I also own property and then get rental income. So I've used that shit, like the OnlyFans money to do that.
But you don't hear about those stories enough. You see what I'm saying? No. You don't hear about those stories where it's like someone's using what they're naturally given on OnlyFans and they, to a certain degree, but what they're making, the income off of OnlyFans, they're then investing it back in themselves.
Because also, like, it's not going to last forever. And, like, there will be a point, like, especially when I get in a relationship, I think it's very difficult for guys to wrap their head around, like, okay, my girl's got OnlyFans, like, I do get my boobs out, but, like, some people might not be okay with that. And I want to get to a point where, like, I do want to have kids and I do want to get married, so I do not want to do that anymore.
Of course.
At one point. Or maybe I could keep it up but not be active, or have someone run my account. There's so many different ways of going about it, but I feel that just like, if you're smart about it and if you like reinvest your money, like, that's when you're actually going to make something of yourself. OnlyFans is not going to last forever, and I notice girls, they'll go buy a new car, they'll buy handbags and holidays, and I'm like, you have to be so smart
frivolous.
Because that, right? And we've all been frivolous. I've definitely, when I started to come into money, because I've come from such a shit background, when, like, I put this the other day on my story, it's like, if you give 5K to someone who's financially intelligent,
I saw that,
they will go and reinvest their money. But if you give it to someone, 5K to someone who's not financially intelligent, who's never had money, they'll say, oh, I'm going to go buy a new car and I'm going to go and buy this designer bag because I deserve it because I've never had money. And it's like, why don't you go and invest it? Spend those next 10 years of you keep reinvesting that money, and then you can go and buy that car that you wanted.
Seems
and
minor.
that money that you've invested pays for the car itself. It doesn't come out of your own money.
But Nick, that comes down to education as well.
But I educated myself. Like, when I was 25, I was reading so many books about money, and, like, I need to change my blueprint, because right now I don't know how to keep money. Like, like, I don't know how to, I get it and then I spend it because I'm like, oh, okay, I could do this and I can do this, because I was never taught that. And,
same.
No one gets taught it ever.
We talked about that.
Yeah, like, no one ever really gets taught it. But however, if you're born in a more wealthy environment, I mean, most of them have got trust fund babies, and then they end up on coke and whatever. So it just becomes a disaster. Right? It's true. So I just educated myself so much, and I definitely have made mistakes on the way. I've definitely spent my money when I shouldn't have. But now I'm in a position where I'm like, okay, having a financial advisor is probably one of the best investments you can do, because they keep you in track. Like, he will come to me and be like, what have you spent? And and, like,
he makes you accountable.
He makes me accountable, and then he's like, I need you, if you want to be serious about this next investment, I need you to have this amount for me by this month, because if you don't, I'm not going to invest it. And this is, and, like, it's cool. You don't need to have the money. I don't want to be that person to say, don't buy this and don't buy this. But if you want to live this life that you're dreaming of when you're 45, 50, and you don't want to ever do what you're doing now, you need to make these changes. And he 100%. Has been fucking incredible. Like, is
there any book off the top of your head that you would suggest to our listeners in regards to, like, something that's not too heavy, but it's a good starting point to get the ball rolling, to want to
I think it's called The Secret Mind of a Millionaire. I can't remember the author of it, but this is the one that I read when I was 25. And this is what teaches you about a blueprint, because everyone was born with it, right? So it's poor, working class, middle class, whatever, rich, and we all have that. So in our heads, from people who have grown up on benefits and not a lot of money, it's money can't buy on trees. And bless my mum. Like, I remember once I saw her in her bedroom, she's got like a £5 note, and on it she wrote 5,000. In my head, that's 5 billion. And it's like, think bigger. Like, don't just think, oh, I'd love to just make 10 grand. I want to make 10 grand, but I then want to double it and turn that into 100 grand, and then a million, and then and
it's a mindset.
So everything is mindset. So it helps change your mindset. And then it also helps you. It taught me how to put my money in different little avenues. So for example, when you get paid, you got to put that money towards rent. Like, let's say you're budgeting, right? You've got to put that money towards rent, and then you've got to put other money towards food. And then all the other important things that you put the money into, and then you divide the rest up for, like, luxury stuff. And so I was doing that for about 2-3 years, because I was like, okay, this is keeping me accountable of being responsible. Because otherwise, if I'm going to get paid and then spend all my money, I won't be able to pay my rent. So I have to just make sure
manage it.
You have to manage your money, and money management is also, you need to learn how to manage your money first. Like keep your money, manage it, and then invest it.
Right.
And it does come in stages. You can't just get the money and invest it because you just have no idea what you're doing.
Plum's a good app for that. That's what I use, Plum.
Yeah?
Yeah, you should get it. Plum, like, it keeps you aware of how much you got in your account. So you link it up to your main account, you get your salary in.
That's good.
And then it will tell you how much is in the account, but then you can set up a saver thing where it will pull out a certain amount that you want it to pull out like every week. So you want to pull out £50. Without even thinking about it, it's going to do it for you every week.
That's really good.
And it builds up.
Right.
But the major key is you try not to. I've not figured out how to access that money.
Right.
And I'm just purposely keeping it that way.
Right.
Yeah, because if you don't know, then and also once it's gone, you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel that also a lot of people hold on to the emotion of money, emotional side of it. Like, oh, I've got $1,000 in savings. I shouldn't. I'll just keep it in there.
Yeah.
You know, like the people hold money in their bank accounts, but when it's in your bank account, it depreciates. So
it's education.
Yeah, it's education. Like you need a buffer because if shit hits the fan, you're going to need to rely on it. Yeah. But if you're just going to keep however much that you don't need in your bank account, you could put it into something else and it's just making money for you. It's working for you, and that's how everyone wants to live.
Nicole, we need to have a chat.
Okay.
100%.
We need to have a chat about that. Okay. One more? Okay. This question is something I thought of that we should ask all guests. What question would Nicole ask Nicole?
Good question.
Oh, that's a great question.
You've been doing your homework.
We're here a week.
That's really, really good. we're all week. What question would Nicole ask?
Nicole. It's a real one.
It is a real one, and I'm such a context person. I keep saying that, like I love context.
Yeah. Go for it.
So, I want to say, okay, I'm just going to kind of spin off of like what I'm thinking because I guess it's coming to me like my subconscious. I'm actually picturing myself like speaking to myself when I was like 15.
Okay,
And
that's a good point.
Yeah, just like being 15. I actually lost my dad when I was 15, and like I'm cool about it, and like I actually make really dark jokes and stuff like that. But so I lost my dad when I was 15.
We won't, Nicole.
It's fine.
Do you know what I mean? Just
you're safe over here.
Yeah.
We won't.
Okay.
We're respectful.
So I lost my dad when I was 15, and at that point, like that's when I grew up. Right. I was like, okay, so I've lost a parent. I need to grow up. And again, like I didn't know where my life was going to go. I was getting shut down by my fucking drama teachers and stuff. And I think it's just more like I wasn't happy, like truly happy. Like at the time I was like, oh yeah, everything's great. Like, you know, okay, obviously my dad's died, but like I still got on with life and whatever. And I think now being 30, I'm really at the happiest point of my life. Like it's
good to know.
I have had so much therapy, and I have a life coach, and like I've set boundaries for myself. I'm now assertive. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I know exactly how my life needs to live, and like the people that I want in it. And I would probably, as a 15-year-old, like ask myself, like, are we finally happy?
Right.
You know, like, are we finally happy? And then and then obviously I can then speak about what we have been through.
Yeah.
Because if 15-year-old Nicole was like looking back, like was watching this on a TV screen, she'd be like, that's us.
Yeah.
Like that's us from like mum's house and like where we came from. And now you're, you know, sitting doing a podcast with cool guys.
Hello.
Like,
Come on.
Come on. You know, and then,
I'd like to
you
meet
know,
those
and
guys.
your social media is growing and you're being who you aspired to be. Like I didn't know where this life was going to go. Like I wanted to maybe go into acting or something, but then I was just like, I actually prefer playing my own character.
Right.
You know, this is my life and I'm just living in it.
Yeah.
You know, as Nicole. So I would probably, as a 15-year-old, ask my 30-year-old self, like, are we finally happy? Like, have we got that life that we wanted?
And what is the answer?
Love that.
Fuck yeah!
Love that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, before we move, just based on having a conversation with you, and I already knew you was like this.
Aww.
And obviously I've seen, since we become friends on IG, I've seen your personality and I've understood it a lot more outside of what you do with the parody. But I feel like I'm a very similar person. If you ask Drizzy, if you ask Joe, I don't take anything seriously. I'm not serious. I have to be because I'm a husband, I'm a father, and the bills have to be paid and stuff like that. Outside of that, I just want to take
Trust
the
me,
piss.
I know.
Yeah.
The sounds are cool. Bruv, the other day I called this guy. I'm like, bruv, there's mad echoing going on. What's going on? Oh, I'm just on the toilet taking this shit.
You
I just hanged up the phone.
Phone down on me.
I hanged up.
Yeah. That's the best time to
I'm
talk
in
to
the
people.
bar.
100%. I do it all the time, every morning.
Yeah. That's it. That's the way to be. But listen, hang out. We're going to have some more fun.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Love your story.
Oh, thank you so much.
1, 2.
Yo.
Now we come to the payoff.
Mic check.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
Food is a metaphor for information.
Yo, get your head around this. The concept, 2 men about this. Trissy sack effect, freckles, respect rebels. We'll take the stairs, you stay there. Next level, put up the frame, they couldn't see the vision. I'll take the blame when it comes to fruition. From 4 to 3, and then we lost 1. I won't cause a scene, cause camera's on, son.
It's a fast food podcast.
You look up, understand. You're in the dark with the sharks, it's a bloodbath. We got the mics, it's a fight, had a tough start. Now got the stripes, it's in sight, it's all love car. Morgan Heights, it's food for the mind. A feast for the palate, you can eat the design. Serial killer with a splash of cold milk. These men are built on weight, lactic acid, hold skills. Yo, give me the space, we need the mic. You know the vibes. Camera, action, lights. We do what we do, we say what we like. It's the FFE. It's the FFE.